Hello everyone, welcome to Spec Guide. I'm here with my girlfriend Gosia.
Hi.
And Gosia, you got a new car.
Well, new to me.
New to you. It's a
Yeah.
used Chevy Bolt, and everyone who was watching this and knows this channel might think I had something to do with it. I didn't. You bought
No.
this while I was like out of the country.
Yeah, I secretly.
Secretly, like you know someone who knows a lot about EVs, and but hey, you make your own
I
decision.
wanted to make a decision for myself. I call this baby Shark. But yeah, no, I've been thinking about getting an electric car for a while, and I was really all about the Nissan Leaf, but
I at least convinced her not to get a Leaf. Anyhow,
well, I wouldn't say you convinced me, but
the internet and research.
and in general, my checklist.
Yep, so
My
you
checklist.
bought this used pretty cheap. We'll talk about the price and specs inside the car, but this Chevy Bolt, it's a 2019 LT trim, and seems like you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been great so far. No major complaints.
Great, let's get inside and talk about it. All right, Gosia, we're in your Bolt, and I'm gonna let you do some of the talking here. I'll just, people hear me talk enough on this channel, but here we are. You bought this car. Can you give us the skinny on it? Like roughly what you pay, why'd you get it?
Yeah, so I got this car for just under $20,000. I previously had a Hyundai Kona for all-wheel drive, this 2021, so this is a 2019 car, so it is a little bit older. However, it did get a new battery. So as you may not know, there's some controversy with the Bolt battery. Some of them tended to burst into flames, but they fixed it, and lots of cars got new batteries. So this baby's got a new battery. It's great. And when I was crunching all of the numbers after I sold my car, as well as getting an Xcel Energy rebate for it, so that's another $3,000.
So your utility company?
My utility company, yes. So in Colorado, there's lots of utility companies, and Xcel Energy has some for customers, which I'm one of their customers, as well as a federal tax credit for used EVs. It checked a lot of my boxes. It only had about 40,000 miles on it. And since at my, I'm just starting school right now, and in the parking garages I get free charging anyway, and I have to pay for parking. So it just seemed like everything was working out. It seemed like a good time to buy.
So it works for you. You're commuting to your school, which is a bit of a ways away from where you live. You're not going to be able to charge at your apartment, but charging in the parking lot sounds like it's working for you. You're really just piling on city miles, which is what electric cars are great at. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's been great so far. I haven't taken any long road trips, definitely no California travel in this guy yet, but I'll definitely looking forward to taking it out to the mountains and some of the closer mountain towns that we have here that I
which
like
is
to visit.
absolutely doable with the infrastructure off 70. And we'll find out too, you can put on some Blizzaks or winter tires on this.
Oh, yeah.
And front wheel drive won't be an issue, I assure you.
Yes, it'll be great.
I drove a Mini Cooper in Colorado. It was great fun. So I don't think the Bolt will be any different. And I'm sure you're enjoying other aspects of it. Under $25,000, meaning you get $4,000 back, and is a tax credit?
Yeah, $4,000 back as a tax credit, which I should get all of that back in April. $3,000 from my energy company. So essentially it's looking like, well, 4 plus 3 is 7, minus 20 comes out to be about $13,000 with some taxes. So not bad at all.
And to your situation, I think you made money because you have equity on your company.
So I made money off of that. So I made, I would say, about $2,000 off of this, and it's like I'm no car snob. I don't need the newest or fanciest car, so for me it works out. It's been working great so far. I've had it for a few weeks now, so the novelty hasn't worn off yet.
Yeah, well, we can make jokes and stuff about the Bolt's slow DC charging speed and stuff, but the reality is, and I mean, I think even EV nerds have to admit this, whether or not there'll be people who will say, oh, you should have gone to a Tesla, you should have gone whatever, blah, blah, 80,000 miles on it, depreciated. It's like, no, you got a very practical car. This is an efficient car. you're going to find out what road tripping is like. It's not the worst thing in the world. This car does have fast charging. Unlike the Nissan Leaf, it's not using an obsolete standard for that. You're going to be able to use a Tesla adapter next year.
I know. I'm stoked for that.
And
So that was a big reason why I got this bad boy, because Tesla has such, like, whatever you think of the company, it has a great infrastructure. So I'm excited to be able to utilize that either locally or just on a trip.
Yeah, superchargers are honestly awesome. Gosia pro tip, maybe hog those at night, because Tesla actually bills off peak much cheaper.
Okay.
So
I'll scope around the neighborhood. I found some charge points near my neighborhood that the app said was free, but is actually behind some gates. So
just go to a lot of breweries in Colorado. They all have free EV charging.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Just try not to spend too much money.
I'll have to make sure I get lots of pretzels there to stay safe. But
yeah.
But no, I'll definitely look around, and it's great to have that option in the future. And so far it's been great. My commute's 20 miles one way. I can charge up to my heart's content, and I've got so many charging stations near where I live, so for me it's great. So
yeah, and you've even done plugging into a wall outlet in a garage.
Oh yeah, so it's we should have like
you sent me the image. I can throw that in here.
Yeah, so it's like when it's like that meme where they say, oh, like we have charging, we have food at home, but the food at home's like this. It's like we have charging for free in the garage, and this is a free charging, and they just put a bunch of outlets up in the parking garage, which is fine. Like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And I'll have some late study nights, unfortunately, probably. So maybe I can take advantage.
Absolutely. Sure. The silly thing about the Bolt is that it actually, because this car is so darn efficient and doesn't have that large of a battery, you actually are gaining appreciable range from that. Like you said, do you get 15% over the course of the day or something? Or you said 20, how many miles?
Oh, I got 25 miles, and I wasn't even there a full day. I was there for a shorter amount of time than I will once classes
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And Gosia, you went out, like you said, new battery in this car. That's a big thing, and you're good lucky, because people who had older Bolts who were shuffling their feet and not getting it done. Well, GM said, oh, we figured out a software solution, so we're not going to have to replace batteries.
I think that's just for the newer ones.
Perhaps.
I think it's 2020 and
Oh, well, you've been researching this car, so you might know it better than me. But the newer ones got a facelift about a year or two after this one you bought. But I think you should know, researching it, I don't think that facelift did much aside from cosmetics.
Okay, well, I think the car looks fine. I love the hatchback style.
I'm not insulted. I'm saying
joke about
that's all you're missing out on.
Yeah, I joke that the perfect body shape is a Chevy Spark, or a old Prius.
Well, this is bigger than a Spark and about a little smaller than a Prius V.
Okay, well, yes, show everyone the mess I have in my car, but it's fine.
You're using it. It's a hatchback. It's practical for you.
It's great.
This really not much. The Kona you had was a CUV compact crossover, so this really isn't that much smaller than that. It's a little bit smaller.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because it might be smaller, but when I was quickly repacking my car from like my Kona to here, like I could fit all of my gear that I had in the trunk and in the back seats. I could fit all of that stuff in this truck. Yeah, that's it. So I feel like in some ways it almost has more space, or at least the trunk
it's more usable. Yeah,
more usable space.
Yeah.
And the length of and the height is very similar. I will miss all-wheel drive, and I do think the Kona's great. So maybe one day I'll get the electric version, but for right now this is perfect for me. I'll be saving lots of money, and I've always wanted an EV, and I think merging on the highway is a lot easier now than it was in my Kona. So.
With a 1.64 cylinder engine, the Bolt, it's not slow.
Oh no, it's zippy according to the dealership.
Yeah, well, they're not wrong about that. They may be about some other specs they advertise, but honestly, all electric cars, they've got that torque off the line. The Bolt is no exception. So I think you made a great decision with this, honestly. Some stuff to keep in mind for people who are looking at Bolts, GM, maybe thanks to people like you, said they did a fake out. They're like, we're going to kill the Bolt a few months ago. Everyone was sad. They're like, what the heck? This was one of the few great affordable EVs.
Yeah.
And then Maribara announced few weeks ago, a week or two ago, as of filming this, that they're bringing it back. It's coming back. There's going to be a new one.
Yes, apparently Kyle's anguished cries in front of the office weren't in vain. So
I'll throw that in. People,
yes.
if people don't watch How to Spec Reviews, Kyle did the work. He
did the work. Like, people were talking big in the Reddit, I'm guessing, or whatever, carfans.com forums, but Kyle actually, he rolled up his sleeves and he did something about it.
He did. And, he's so modest, he won't take all the credit. But nonetheless, to the cheer of many fans of the Bolt, people who want affordable EVs, they're bringing it back. We don't know what that'll look like. So in the here and now, buying a used one of these like you did, under that $25,000 price in the U.S., well under it for a lot of these, it's pretty easy to do that, means you're getting... that tax credit potentially, and you're just getting an awesome car. You've got well over 200 miles of usable range in this.
Like over
speeds.
260 for sure.
Yeah, 260 is city speeds, which, so like if you're driving on a highway, it's a little bit less, but we can see right now you've got they call it the Gosia meter, which is this thing. It tells you your maximum range, your minimum range, and then an average in the middle. And I've always found that's actually a really practical, smart display in the Bolt, because it gives you a good idea of what driving an EV is like. You've got a range of ranges. It's not a single range. It depends on your driving. And I know, 20-mile commute each way, it's not the edge of the world, but have you noticed it to be pretty accurate?
I would say it's pretty accurate for sure. And I always try to make it closer to the max. And there's definitely, for me, kind of like a fun element of, I have my average miles per kilowatt. I want to get that average up.
Wow.
So before it's 4.0, I got up to 4.1.
Look at you. We're turning you into a nerd. You're talking about miles a kilowatt.
Okay, I was always a nerd. Not turning me into anything, man.
Okay, you are who you are. But never did I think when you drove your Kona you'd be talking about miles a kilowatt hour, and now you are, because you're in an EV. So that's really cool.
That's fun.
And it seems like you've put just under 1,000 miles on it from commuting. I don't know if you've reset the trip meter.
Just I've set the trip meter a little bit after I purchased it, so probably about 1,000. Or maybe a little bit more.
And you're winning because it's a GM vehicle. You're gonna have access to that Tesla supercharger deal next year, and because it's an older one, not one of the newer ones, you get CarPlay still.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so you can plug in your phone and use that on the screen. So that's nice. Software, for you, it's been similar to Kona, not an issue.
It's been absolutely fine. I listen to my audiobooks, listen to Spotify. I don't like the placement of this energy button here, but other than that, it's been good, just because it's so big and green. I want to press it all the time, and sometimes I'll try to press something above it, and it assumes I want to see this diagram, which isn't wrong because it's a pretty cool diagram.
Yeah, they're
taking Baby Shark.
Taking a page from the Prius there with the that. I love Baby Shark as the name. Makes so much sense. Your little gray 19 Bolt. But so looking forward to pile on the miles here. You can see all of you're just bragging about how efficient your driving is.
Look at that. Plus 20.3 points. But outside temperature is helping. I am blasting. We are, as you can see, blasting the AC right now, and a lot of uphills and highways, because that's how I compete.
But you're still getting decent range. I mean, 4.1 miles a kilowatt hour. Gosia, my Polestar would dream of getting that. It is not that efficient.
Well, maybe if you're a better driver, Max.
No, it's
too fast, too furious.
I mean, that could be part of it too. If my tire wears anything to go off of, but. I'm glad you're happy with your Bolt. This is, I think, such a smart, practical choice, even if I can't make fun of the charging speed, and you're definitely going to annoy some Tesla drivers when you're hogging the supercharger.
It's okay.
That's fine. They
can buy themselves an extra coffee with all the I guess extra money they have to buy a fancy car.
We joke, but Tesla Model 3, even though it's gotten way more affordable and has tax eligibility, I mean, it's just a class above. It's just more expensive, and for me, I don't say I don't care, because I do care. But it just, the benefits aren't there for me, and for what I need, and what my financial situation is now as I'm becoming a full-time student. It's just... You're absolutely not alone there. If you were, let's say, a rideshare driver, you wouldn't pay it off that way. You weren't studying. You do road trips to the supercharger network. It'd make more sense. But really, Gosia, I think you're spot on. I mean, you saw the prices. Model 3s, even now, still way more expensive than the Bolt. This car's giving you a lot of practicality. And hey, I'll tell you what, a Model 3 doesn't give you a hatchback, so...
It's got a terrible body shape in comparison.
Yeah, definitely inferior body shape. I actually agree with you on that. But thank you so much for joining me to talk about your Bolt, and I'm sure we'll have updates to make about hopefully you not getting stranded, learning about the winter range of electric cars, which is a lot less than in summer.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna find that out. You'll see in the climate graph. But yeah, Bolt days to come.
Woohoo! Thanks for listening.
Watching. It's YouTube. But
okay, it's YouTube. Thanks for watching and listening.
I hope you're watching. Don't put us in the background.
No.
All right, bye.
Bye.